G'day everyone. The Sunburst Cherry's had a bit of a haircut, and it's an unfortunate day here because this tree's been growing really strongly, but it's succumbed to canker. And I really noticed when I got in there and cut back some of these branches that there's so much canker growing on this thing that I didn't want it to spread and infect all my other trees, all my other plums and Prunus that I have here. So you'll just see I made some cuts to cut out the canker, and you can see how it's still oozing out underneath, and you know, it's in basically every join here. Let's move up the tree. There's, you know, you can see again where I've put some grafting compound and it's spurting out through that seal, and every crotch here where there's a branch coming out is just full of this cankerous ooze. So unfortunately I'm going to have to cut it out. I can say though that the Sunburst Cherry grew very vigorously here in Ireland, that the cherries on it tasted pretty good. To be honest with you, there's a big difference between a homegrown apple and a store-bought apple, but there wasn't a very big difference between the homegrown cherry and a store-bought cherry. It definitely wasn't as sour, and it did have a nice flavour, but I think given the risk of the canker being spread here, it's not worth it. So also one other problem I had with this cherry was the black cherry aphid, which curled all the leaves. And I'll just see maybe if I can zoom in here. So the tips of all these leaves were really scrunched up, and actually took on a burned effect. So the aphids did a bit of damage there, but again, one of the benefits of having these aphids is that it did attract lady beetles. So they were nice to have around. So anyway, that's the end of the Sunburst Cherry here in Ireland. I think to have success here you'd have to grow a really disease-resistant cherry. I think the Cordier cherry would be a perfect choice. Now I have bought a Cordier cherry, but I'm thinking I might not even trial it. It flowers late for a cherry, ripens early, is resistant to canker, and it's meant to have a good flavour. So that Cordier cherry would probably be the next cherry that I planted. Now the problem with that one is that it's not self-fertile, so I would need a second cherry, and finding a second cherry that's disease resistant like the Cordier is proving to be a challenge. Well, there you have it. That sums up the Sunburst Cherry.